Rising sun, three little birds sat by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melody pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right.
Ding dong. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Okay, everyone, let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Some people believe that if you have to record yourself doing a good deed, it actually takes away the impact of what you are doing. Because the very reason for doing a good deed, or the idea of doing a good deed, is to actually do it when nobody is watching. On the other hand, some people give their reason for actually recording themselves doing a good deed as one way to inspire others to actually contribute as well. What do you think? Today's topic is, should anybody be bothered if someone records themselves doing a good deed? What do you think? Today in today's topic, what we are going to do is that we are going to go through it, look at the pros, look at the cons, because to everything there's always a good and there's always a bad. To help in bringing the points across, what I'm going to do is to refer to somebody's experience of trying to actually do a good deed recently. So this story is of an influencer who actually wanted to go out and do a good deed by actually paying for people's grocery. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go through the story so that you can form your opinion. I am going to leave out the name of the lady because it's actually an influencer, and I am sure that perhaps she's not feeling too good about the situation round about now, and I'm sure that she's embarrassed enough because she actually said that she was embarrassed. So here goes. A woman has been left in tears after her plan to pay for strangers' food shopping ended in complete disaster. The influencer in question is from London. She actually took to her TikTok. She went live when she was about to do the good deed. She invited her followers along as she went to her local supermarket in search of strangers who may need a helping hand. Now I want to give you a bit of backdrop. The supermarket that this young lady went to was one in a well-established area where the houses actually cost over £1 million, number one. The supermarket that she actually went to as well, if you live in the UK, you would have heard about Sainsbury's, you would have heard about Waitrose, and what we know about those supermarkets are that they are the more, they are more of the supermarkets where the middle to upper class people actually shop. So she actually went to the supermarket, and her idea was to actually pay for some people's grocery. So this was how it happened. So the young lady actually went to her supermarket, positioned herself outside at first. She waited in the wings, eyeing up the best person to approach. But her efforts to help were repeatedly declined, with one man asking why, before adding, no, we don't need it. And he was angry. The young lady, while still on her live, turned to the camera and said, everyone is staring and I don't know what to do. She said after her first attempt was rejected by an angry looking man. Elsewhere, a woman's voice could be heard sounding flustered and saying, no, when the young lady made the offer, promptly saying to the influencer, I feel so embarrassed and judged. On her next attempt, so 2 attempts so far, and the young lady's offer was declined. So on her next attempt, a woman who the TikToker approached said, there's a lot more deserving people in the world, but I thank you. I feel too guilty for taking it. The TikToker replied to the lady, I am sure you have done some good in the world. But again, the lady rejected. Once again, the TikToker turned to the camera and said, that was stressful, guys. That was really stressful. I felt really like in panic mode. I don't know. I felt like I was expecting somebody to be, like overjoyed and grateful, happy for me to pay for their shopping. But obviously, that didn't go down well. The lady continued speaking to the camera and said, I was a little bit like taken aback. I think I am going to cry, to be honest. And like the second person, look at me like I was some kind of weirdo. She didn't say anything, but she was really like no sort of stern. This TikToker was left embarrassed. Nonetheless, when she was rejected, she started to cry, but then she thought of redeeming the situation by loading up her car with food for the local food bank, including dried pasta and cooking sauces, but her tears continued to pour throughout the video. So people noticed that she was actually still crying, because I would imagine that she was embarrassed, right? So what do you think? In this situation, do you think that it was a good, why do you think that her effort was not successful? What do you think? Was it a good idea to actually go live when she was actually doing this? The good thing was that some people actually, tried to console this lady, meaning her viewers. Some people, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read what some of the comments were. One person said, such a lovely gesture, but advice would be not to go to this particular location where people live in £1 million+ houses. So one person, they were trying to make her feel better, to say, look, you were doing a good job, but the area that you're actually trying to help people in, this is an affluent area, so perhaps it did not work. Another person says, Sainsbury's is way too middle class. Go to Asda, Aldi, Iceland, where people will really need it. So another person was saying, look, Go to the supermarket where people who are really in need, low income families, those are the supermarkets that they shop. A third person agreed. It probably didn't work because of the type of clientele that particular area has. People in my area would be extremely grateful. Meanwhile, one person said it would make them feel poor. I personally would not like it either. The filming puts me off, but also I'd think, oh, do I look like I'm poor? So if you look at it, some people were saying, and I'm particularly looking at what the last person said. This person was saying, look, the camera would probably put me off. Because now, by somebody approaching me and offering me some kind of, it's a charity. You look at it, it is still charity, no matter how you look at it. This person was saying, by the person coming up and making this offer to me, it would sort of make me a bit more, I would be thinking, okay, do I look like I am poor? So right away, you see that that person's confidence would be knocked, right? So what do you think? If you look at it, people are saying, look, going back to what I said at the beginning, some people said that the mere act of filming your good deed takes away the impact, because you should not want to let other people know that you are doing a good deed, because if you have to publicize it, then it means that you are doing it for, the wrong reason. In this case, influencer, yes, we understand, people who actually make videos will understand. Perhaps she wanted to film it so that she could have like content for her channel as well, right? But did it work? In this case, it did not work. In this case, she embarrassed herself more. So could it be that it all depends what the good deed that you are doing is? Because on the other hand, another person said, okay, I would not mind filming it, because if by filming what I'm doing, it will influence others to actually contribute as well, then by all means, people should not have a problem with people filming it. Where do I stand? I believe that it all depends on what is involved. If what you are doing does not warrant the support from other people, then of course there's no need for you to publicize it. So if this is a one-off thing where you are doing it out of the kindness of your heart, you are not looking to other people to actually support in actually making somebody else's dream come true, then of course there's no need to actually film it. On the other hand, if what you are doing is something that is going to warrant other people to get involved to make the dream become a reality, then by all means. So that is why you will, if you notice, they have like Red Nose Day, you have like Oxfam. So in the UK, you actually have certain events like, where they actually contribute to poorer nations. Once per year, they actually have a concert. I think it is affiliated with, I think it's affiliated with Red Nose Day, where they actually have a concert. It is actually shown on telly as well. You have people pay a lot of money to actually go in person, and how it works is that people actually make their contributions. So a target is set, and people are able to, from the comfort of their own home, call in, make a donation. The lump sum that is collected is used to feed people in poorer nations. So if you look at it from that perspective, where you realize that you will need the support of others in order to fulfill, what you want to achieve, then by all means, publicize it. If it is a one-off, it's coming out of your own pocket, you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, where I stand is that you do not need to actually film it. Just like you have said, because of this technology, once somebody sees you filming something, if you have to record it, people become self-conscious and they become suspicious as well. So perhaps even if some of those people were in need, they would not have taken it, simply because once you start recording, nobody knows where that video will end up. And a lot of the times they end up on social media, and people don't want to be seen in that light as people being in need. Some people actually don't mind it, but other people actually don't want the publicity. So I do agree that in this case, perhaps it was not a good idea to actually record this type of good deed. I must say as well, I actually see a lot of, I think it has to do with culture as well, because I do see some influencers, I think the more established the influencer is, then some people don't really mind actually accepting the good deeds that they are doing. But if you are not known, I think that the UK has a different culture as well. So for people to just come out in public and to accept things from people who they don't know, it is not something that people readily do. Yes, if for example, it's an organization that is offering something, people would more be in tune, they would be more ready to take it. In the end, the influencer did the right thing, or she did something that worked out better. So for those who do not live in the UK, Food Bank is where people who need support with food items, that is the area, that is the organization that they can go to get free stuff. So what you have is that a lot of people, supermarkets as well, organizations, what they do, they donate food items to these places. Individuals are able to actually do that as well. When you do it like that, then people don't feel conscious that, okay, I'm taking it from this person, because they do not know who actually donated, right? All they do is go into the building, go into go to the location, get their bags full, and they walk out with the food. You do not have to say, okay, it is coming from this person specifically. It is almost like anonymous donations that is benefiting everybody. So I think that what this TikToker did in the end actually is a good idea. Perhaps the mistake that she made was to actually go live while doing it. For some people, what they would have done was to do like a pre-recorded video so that they could, edit it to sort of take away, to edit out the people who were being a bit disrespectful. Not disrespectful, but standing their ground to say, look, I am not a charity case, put it that way. I am not in need. If she had probably done a pre-recorded video, if it did not work at her local supermarkets, high-class supermarket, she could have then go to another supermarket where, the foods are cheaper. Therefore, you more would find people who would actually be more appreciative of this kind of gesture. What do you think, guys? Do you think that people should be free to actually film any good deed that they are doing, or Are you thinking like what I'm thinking, where I'm saying it all depends? One, if it is coming from your heart, if it is a one-off, if you are the only person doing it, meaning you do not need anybody else's support to actually make that person's dream come true, you do not need to film it. Nobody else needs to know. You can do it in private because it's a good deed. It's coming from your heart. You are not doing it to get good to get good name or anything like that. You are just doing something from your heart. But on the other hand, like I've said, if what you're doing solicits the support from other people to actually make the thing a reality, then of course, by all means, actually record it, because it will bring about the publicity that is needed to get more resources to help more people. So that is where I stand, where that is concerned. I don't know what you think. I would be happy to actually see your comment. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. And I will always continue to say thank you so much for your support. I look forward to it. I appreciate it. And remember, we are a family. We are growing together. Until another video is uploaded, my Destiny family, I say take care of yourselves. Peace out. Bye.